One of the most intriguing cars, if you can call it that, in the Lane Motor Museum is this Larmar. It's not unique. I have actually seen one or two of these in the UK. They are around, generally in very poor condition. This one is clearly absolutely meticulously restored. What was the Larmar? It was an invalid carriage, or a kind of a disabled car of some sort, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a micro car, invalid car, but the neatest feature about the Larmar was, like in England and in Europe, most people they fence their properties, right? And they have a gate to go into your house, and the gates are usually 30 inches wide. So what Larmar wanted to do was build a car that was narrow enough so if you didn't have a place to park on the street, you could drive through the gate. So essentially you have a 28-inch wide car.
Hence only a single-seater.
Hence a single-seater. But one of the amazing things about it is it has a door on both sides, right? And you think with a little tiny single-seater, why on earth would we put a door on the right and on the left?
Yeah. Bearing in mind a lot of the cars in your collection have no doors at all.
Right.
You have to clamber over.
And this would be easy to climb right over the top. But and then, of course, it was also supposedly a second car so the wife could go shopping, and it has this gigantic trunk, which would fill up very quickly, I think, actually.
You're being ironic, I think, now when you say gigantic.
Yes, yes.
Because that's not very gigantic.
That's not really. That is one sack of groceries, right?
Exactly. Yeah, and not a very big sack at that.
Yeah.
So that's pretty small.
Yeah.
And then in the nose here, we've got the battery.
The battery, and it has the gigantic headlights.
Yes. I mean, you're not going to see very much with those, are you?
No.
So there's a little battery tray in there.
Yep. One big one down there, and two tiny ones down there. Battery tray. It's fully dual control, so it can be driven by someone that's in a wheelchair, or it also has foot pedals.
And what powers it?
It's let me see, I have to look here, BSA 250cc single-cylinder engine.
Okay, and that's mounted in the rear?
Mounted in the rear.
With a column shift, three-speed transmission, I guess?
Three-speed, yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
And do you have any idea how many were made, how many survived, just kind of anything on production numbers?
It doesn't, so we can't imagine they made very many, right? I mean, how unpractical.
It's going to be a pretty small production run.
But we at the museum, we have this contest here, the worst driving car, right? So we have the Dymaxion, which is right up there. We have the Fascination, which is right up there. But believe me, I've only driven this in the parking lot, and when you turn the corner at like 10 to 15 miles an hour, you think you're going to flip over. Because not only is it super, super narrow, but the chassis.
So the high center of gravity
is very flexy, yeah.
And you've got the very sporty, large alloy wheel, pressed in.
10-inch or maybe 8 wheelbarrow.
I think my wheelbarrow's got larger wheels than that.
Right, so it's
not big.
It's a really bad driving car.
But it's been beautifully restored. I've never seen one other than the project. So it's beautiful condition. Okay, well this is another one of the collection that maybe I won't rush out to try and find one to add to my collection. I think I'll skip this and maybe look for something different.
Something more practical.
But it couldn't be less practical, not really.
MGT series wiper motor.
Ah, okay.
Right?
That does make it more desirable, I'm afraid.
TC, TD, TF.
Yeah, okay. Well, they would have taken whatever was around at the time, I guess.
Yeah.
So engineering a bespoke wiper motor would be
that'd be crazy, right? So, surprising it has a wiper.
Presumably you switch that on and the engine cuts out. I mean, that's probably more powerful than the engine.
Could be, yes. Yeah, that's very possible.
Right, okay, as I say, I'm going to skip this one. Oh, also the weather protection. So it looks like we've got no, that's just like a tonneau.
It does have a top though, because the framework is here.
Okay.
Right here, and then it's got it does have a canvas top if you want to put it on.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well that'll make it more aerodynamic, presumably, so it might go a bit faster.
32.
Be even more terrifying to drive. Right, brilliant. Okay, well that's another one that I'm going to miss, but I'm glad that you own it in your collection.